A big thanks to VRST for sponsoring this episode. And with that, welcome back to the channel. I wanted to do something a little different today, so we are doing a Q&A. Before we jump into this, I want to give some context. So on social media, I'm seen as this real estate guy, the guy in the suits walking around touring these homes, and it's interesting because that is kind of far off from who I am as a person. So with this Q&A, the goal is to hopefully have you get to know me a little better and what I'm about, what gets me going. I got a ton of questions about real estate, and I want to start off by saying I am not a real estate agent. I'm not a broker. I don't sell real estate. At this point in my career, I am purely marketing real estate here on my YouTube channel. So if you are an agent and you want to collaborate and get some exposure to your listings, shoot me an email. Let's work together. But I wanted to clarify that right off the gate because a lot of questions were regarding the specifics of real estate and being an agent, which I'm not. I was at a point in time, but I found that I am definitely more of a creative than a real estate agent. Like, I started here on YouTube because I wanted to work for myself. And being a real estate agent, you are working for your client. It's very much so a service-based industry. So I wanted to get that one out of the way, and let's jump into it. A lot of these questions, they're pretty deep. So the first one, getting right into it, what was your rock bottom? I'm over 6 years sober, and how you approach life is super inspiring. First off, Ben, 6 years. Yeah, congrats. For anyone who knows, that's a very large accomplishment. So props to you, man. My rock bottom, without getting too specific, I'll eventually make a video specifically on it, was during the pandemic, December of 2020. That was the rock bottom. And since then, it's been such an eye-opening journey. I think you have to hit rock bottom to wake up and get your life realigned. And how I approach life is super inspiring. I think when you do hit rock bottom, things become very binary. It's like you have one life. You either do what you want to do in this life or you don't. And you have to get to that low point to realize, oh man, life is very finite and I got to go for it now. How old am I? I am 32 and a half years young. I don't feel 32. You're as old as you think you feel, and I feel pretty good right now. Are you ever leaving New York? Most likely not. I gave myself 5 years when I first moved here. I said within the first 5 years, if I didn't, I hate the term make it, but if I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, I would leave. It's almost now 10 years. This is the 9th year I've lived here. So at this point, I feel like I'm a New Yorker for life. They say 10 years and you're truly a New Yorker, so one more year and I am officially a New Yorker. I get a ton of questions about my style, and I don't really think I'm a stylish person. I just like comfortable clothing that is up to the test. And with that, I'd like to thank VRST for sponsoring this video. VRST has quality gear built for any activity, any day, and it's really my go-to gear for getting around the city. For instance, for workouts, I rock the VRST Seamless Men's Tee with the VRST Men's 7-inch stealth printed line shorts. I love the workout gear for not only the style, but really the performance. Like I sweat a ton when I work out, and the VRST workout gear is it's top notch. For a bit more of an upscale look, say I have meetings around Soho, so it's still a bit casual, but more upscale. I would say smart is what I would call this look. I love the VRST men's long sleeve button down shirt with the essential pocket tee in white, paired with the men's limitless slim fit 5-pocket pants in gray. I just like how it's very minimal and sleek. And then while I'm home or at class, taking it easy, really relaxing, I am all about the men's limitless slim fit jogger in that Delta brown color. VRST can really get me through my entire day, whether I have meetings, the gym, or just kicking it at home. If you want to shop my looks, head on over to VRST.com, that's VRST.com, and shop the outfits that I have in this video. With that, I'd like to thank VRST for sponsoring this Q&A episode, and let's get back into some more questions. What is the school/classes you're doing, and how do you stay motivated? So first part, I'm studying in a 2-year dramatic conservatory under this amazing teacher named Terry Knickerbocker. He coaches Sam Rockwell, who is an Oscar winner, tons of very talented artists, and eventually I'll talk a bit more about it, but up to this point, it's changed my life. And I think a lot of people closest to me can see it in how I am and just how I act and how I see things in the world. But second part to that, how do I stay motivated? I think motivation's interesting. You can never really rely on motivation to achieve your goals because motivation comes and it goes. Some days you're all for it and it's very easy. Some days it's very hard. So when motivation fails, you have to fall back on your habits. The thing about habits is they are cemented in your subconscious. They are in your neurosystem. So there is no question about whether or not I should do it because it's ingrained. You don't have to think about it. Habits make life easier when you are working towards that long-term goal. Ooh, this is good. Do you look back at your first apartment with nostalgia, or do you think, what a dump? A little both. I mean, it was there was days where I came home and there was mouse crap on my bed because I didn't have a table and I would eat on my bed. There was cockroaches, loud neighbors. I didn't have a window. I was facing an alleyway, so no sunlight. But those were my fondest days because it was the beginning of my journey. And I think I had so much passion and excitement for what I wanted to do in the city where I was just happy to be here. So looking back now, I'm like, yeah, that kind of was a dump, but it was my dump and I was happy there. So that was a cool question. Ooh, from Ashton, when are we collaborating on a vlog? You tell me. Ashton is a real estate agent here in the city, and actually I met him multiple times throughout life. He was actually a viewer of the channel originally, moved to New York City, got his license. He's now making content, so go check out his channel. We can collaborate whenever, man. Just let me know when I'm down. What is your motivational sentence? And I guess by that you mean like a quote or something that I try to live by. There's a quote that recently my mentor told me, and it's that discomfort is the admissions ticket for a meaningful life. Let that sink in. So you gotta really get uncomfortable to live a life of meaning and fullness. And discomfort is the beauty. Everything in life that's worth having is on the other side of your discomfort. What's the most expensive property that you've ever shown? The 89th floor of 432 Park Avenue was a Japanese-inspired work of art, beautiful penthouse, and 135 million was the most expensive one. I see a surfboard. Do you surf or is it deco? That's my actual board. I've been surfing since I was 12. I grew up right outside of Atlantic City, New Jersey, and a lot of people don't know that the East Coast gets really good surf during the winter. And I learned when I was right around 11, 12, my stepdad taught me, and I have to surf more. That's the one thing in life. I have to make more time for the things that really get me going, and surfing is one of those things. Confidence tips to start a YouTube channel. Don't care what people think. Make content that you would want to watch and try to give some type of either entertainment, information, or value. It has to be either entertaining, informational, or educational, or a mix of all those things. Be consistent and have the right reasons for doing it. There's a lot of questions in here about how much money do you earn, things like that. And if you do anything in life, it should never be about making money, because if you start any endeavor with the goal of making money, it will most likely fail, because the amount of sheer work that has to go into really doing something on your own, it will fade away if the goal is money. It has to come from a deeper, burning inner passion. Hopefully that's helpful about the YouTube. What type of actor are you drawn to, stage or screen? I would have to say that after these 2 years, my goal is to do a play. I think there's something about theater that is just so electric and magnetic, and it really can help you hone your craft. I love films though, movies. I was raised by movies. My parents got divorced when I was 8, and my dad would always take us to Blockbuster, and we could just pick out whatever movie we wanted. The beauty of the stage is that when you're filming a movie or TV show, there's a cut, there's an action and a cut, versus if you're on the stage, you're going for an hour, and then there's an intermission, then you're doing another hour. So you are living truthfully in these circumstances for an entire hour. There's no cut, there's no redo, it's just as authentic as it gets. What do you recommend to young/new starter real estate agents in order to succeed? This is a very interesting question, because I think reality TV, and sadly the content that I've made in the past about luxury real estate, inflates almost a false idea about what it is like to be a real estate agent. It's fucking hard. Like, to be an agent and start from nothing is extremely hard. I think social media glamorizes it in a way that isn't very accurate, and I myself have done that a little bit by these home tours. I have to say, the reflection of what you see as far as real estate on social media are people that have had very unique circumstances, where someone has either been on reality TV for a decade, or they had a YouTube platform which launched their career. I think you need to leverage social media and really have your own voice. Don't post the typical property tours. Like, people want to connect with people. So you're a real estate agent, and whatever your passion is, connect with people and it'll come through. What if I was just meant to watch and not create in life? That's heavy. I think that everyone has their inner critic. That part that's, that person that's on their shoulder saying, oh, you're not good enough, that looks stupid, you could never do this. I think everyone has that, and then everyone has their inner hero, which is the silent voice in you that it's like, yeah, you can dream, you can create. So for that question, what if I was just meant to watch and not create in life? I think everyone was meant to create. It's just really being authentic to who you are, and you gotta spend time by yourself. You gotta really figure out who you are in life and live that. That's what it comes down to. What was your look on life as a teenager and how did you treat high school? School was super hard for me. I was never very good at school, even college. I got into college on a rowing scholarship. My grades were always good enough, but I was never an exemplary student because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I think when you find that thing that really gets you going in life and you have strong habits in place, you'll find success. But for me, high school was extremely hard. College, I went to Northeastern University in Boston. I almost dropped out every single year. It was that hard for me. So yeah, high school and teenage Eric. Also, I was very shy. In high school, I was very, very shy, very insecure, which is just kind of weird looking back. Do you sometimes feel stuck with the real estate format videos? 1000% yes. You know, the real estate has been a blessing. I was the first person to really do real estate home tours, but now with this new journey I'm on in life, I felt a little stuck with the kind of videos I'm making. I still love filming homes. I love architecture, design. I like interestingly smart built homes. But you know, there's a point where, okay, how many mega mansions in Los Angeles do you need to see? You know, I think it's kind of normalized, you know, this kind of hyper wealth. I'm working on what to make, and that's why this Q&A, I figured, why not? Let's try something new. There's a ton of questions. How did you get into this job? Tell us how you started. How did you get in this career? Any tips for getting started? The beginning is so hard. And then exponentially, the more and more success and the more time you put in, slowly gets easier and easier and easier because you put in the hours, you've accumulated the skills. How I got started in this was just by doing it every single day. I used to make a vlog a day. Do you remember that? Back in the day, I used to make a vlog every single day, and there's a lot of really bad, cringy vlogs that were out there on the internet. And you know, that taught me how to film and how to tell stories and edit videos. So you just gotta start. You gotta not be afraid to put in the work. And the biggest piece of advice with starting is you have to not be attached to the outcome. Love the process, not the product. You have to have your goal, but be open to, you know, how am I gonna get there? Do you have any news from Chris Hemsworth? If you're new to the channel, my most popular, my favorite project I've ever done was a workout series with Chris Hemsworth and his app Center. I've always been pretty fit in my life. I'm a swimmer, rower, surfer, and I've done a lot of workout challenges with his app. And yeah, I was actually talking to his team this morning about potentially doing another project, this time focused on some different aspects other than just fitness, because fitness starts with your mind. The mind controls everything. You've got a healthy mind, the body will follow. The beauty of having a strong mind is that everything you have in life comes from your thoughts. So if your thoughts are positive and really aligned with yourself, your life will follow. The fitness challenges have been amazing. I love those types of videos that are totally immersive. So comment down below what types of content you really want to see from this channel. I'm really branching out and just trying new things on the channel, so let me know. I found I had to dodge a lot of questions regarding real estate, and now that's ironic because that's probably how you found me in the channel and what I do on social media, but I feel that real estate is only maybe 10% of who I am and what I'm about, and I hope to make more videos like this so you can, you know, get to know the things that I am passionate about and things that really get me going. So with that, comment down below if you enjoyed this Q&A. Give a thumbs up for Theo if you can see him. There he is. If you want to see more Theo, things like that, just casual, everyday videos. And with that, I hope you're well, and I'll see you in the next episode. Again, another big thanks to VRST for sponsoring this week's episode.